Come on in, come on in, come on in. All geeks are welcome in this space. Let's learn together and seek his face. I'm Len Phil, y'all, a.k.a. Bad Gamer Elite, your host for the Sound Maiden podcast, sponsored by LifePromotions.org. God, Games, and Geekery gives us an opportunity every month to chat about the crossroads of our passions and our faith. I can't wait to learn and discuss with you. Hey, 70 episodes? Oh, guys, I know it's late. Oh, but man, wait till we talk about the month. But 70 episodes. And y'all have been here some of y'all have been here for every single one. I appreciate you. By the way, did you know we finally have hit every single continent, and I love it, except for Antarctica, unless, of course, you're a scientist or a penguin in Antarctica. If that's true, I need you to email me or write a review or something like that. You can email me at badgamer@lifepromotions.org. That's badgamer, just like it sounds, at lifepromotions.org. If you are a scientist, if you are a penguin, and you email me, I'm going to be a little scared. No lies. But hey, guys, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, man, quakeevent.com. Man, yo, some of you guys know that I have been involved with Quake for several years now. I've done workshops, I've hosted, I've done photo and video, and I love the fact that youth get to encounter the gospel like no other, with some crazy, awesome speakers, some wonderful worship bands, the workshops, and just you, the youth leaders. Are you listening? You guys are here for them, and all you have to do is show up. That's one of the beauties of Quake. All you have to do is spend time with your youth. We take care of everything. January through March 2024, go to quakeevent.com to see if we're coming to your area. And there's going to be a new G3 workshop. We're going to have an updated arcade, maybe some other stuff. I can't say just yet, but man, this month has been crazy busy. Normally, I like to have these episodes out early in the month, and early in the month was LIFEST, and the G3 lair was on and popping. It was awesome, you guys, and I can't. Oh wait, hold on. There's more. But let's talk about. Before we get into that, let's talk about what I've been playing, what I've been doing. I've been playing Guild Wars 2. I am now in the second expansion, Heart of Thorns, and it's frustrating. It is frustrating. So frustrating that I took a break, and I was visiting one of our sponsors for the G3 lair, Press Start Games in Appleton, Wisconsin. And I was talking to them, and we were just talking about different games, and I asked him, he said, hey, you're going to be playing Diablo 4. I was like, I never played a Diablo. So I was out and about, and I found Diablo 3 for $20. Somebody said, you should get this game. And I found it for $20, and it was less than $20 because I had a gift card. So, somebody said I should try it, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try, whatever. I really like Diablo 3. I am having a blast with it. And our friend Chad, Bear the Hairless, he actually gifted me the Necromancer pack, and now I love the Necromancer. It's so crazy. I'm not far. I think I'm still in the first act. But just to have all these little minions running around with me has been a lot of fun. I also started playing Guild Wars 2 with friends. And I started a new character just for that, an engineer. And I'm very new with the engineer. The engineer is a little complicated. Not like the ranger, where it's pull back your arrow and do a dagger. So, I have jumped back into Overwatch, you guys. I started playing Overwatch again because Micah, Small Genie, and Bethany, that's Corn on the Dog, have been keeping me in check with that. They've been keeping my attitude in check and keeping how I present myself in that in check, and I really appreciate them. I love them for it. Thank you, Bethany, Micah. I have been playing a lot of indies, and I just got a pack from Humble Bundle. It's the Cozy Gamer Pack, and there's a lot of games. I don't even know really a lot of what the games are in there, but I am very interested. The Cozy Gaming bug has hit me, so I'm trying to get back into Disney Dreamlight Valley a little bit too, and it's I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Of course I'm playing Fortnite. We are in the season, chapter 4, season 3, I believe. I have hit level 100, 116 or something like that. And I'm trying to get to 200 because the extra skins, the bonus skins look fantastic. I am up to 407 skins, you guys. But I'm also building, what do you call them? Studios for gametography in UEFN. That's Unreal Engine for Fortnite. Man, I'm having a blast. The lighting in there is amazing, and I'm making them very simple. We're calling the Simple Studio series. The first one has been simple and stylish. All right, and by the time you guys hear this next, but by the time you see this next one, it'll be after the podcast is out. So the next one that's coming up is simple and space-ish, and I'm going to keep that going. The reason I'm making them simple, there's a lot of studios out there, a lot of maps in Fortnite that have tons of places to go. I know because I've made a couple of them, and tons of places to be. And I figured, for those of us with ADHD, that can't be the best thing to do. So I'm making them very simple. You go in, you do your emotes, you get out, and then you can take a ton of photos. I've done 2 minutes in the studio and gotten about 70 different images out of that 2-minute session. So it doesn't need to be complicated, and I want to make that for those neurodivergence, ADHD, executive function challenged folks like myself. I have been playing Still Save the World. I have maxed out not my levels, but my research. I can't do any more research. I'm level 115 for that, and it's a grind. It's a grind, and I haven't gotten to the Mythic Storm King yet. I really want to get some of the Mythic weapons. So if you want to join me to get the Mythic weapons, you let me know. Hit me up on any of the socials, our Discord. I would love to get to the Mythic Storm King. I have my solo. I actually have my solo, my duo, my trios, and my squad wins for this season as well. We have, and you knew I had a goal this year. Originally, I was going to try to, do 20 games or whatever like that. But then a friend of mine said, why don't you just sit and enjoy the games? So I had a goal of 1,000 hours of gaming that I appreciated, that I enjoyed. I want to say right about now, I am sitting at about 640-ish hours. I've been trying to keep count. I keep forgetting. But about 640 hours, whether it be on G3, God Games and Geekery, or my own personal challenge, channel. I think I'm up to about 644. That's at least, because I'll stream 2 hours in the morning, most mornings. And then I will play with friends in the evening for a couple hours. So I figure I get 4 hours a day. And then if I'm playing here in the studio, that's another couple hours. But it's a lot of fun. I have still been trying to get to drawing. I've been working with a few artists to learn a little bit more. I picked up, and if you know how to use them, you let me know. I picked up these acrylic markers from Hobby Lobby. I don't know what to do with them. I just thought they're paint markers. That'd be really cool. I should try that medium. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know. And I also picked up their colored pencils, not their high-end colored pencils, not the Master's Touch, the fine touch ones. These guys, these are really, oh man, these are creamy. They are very soft. So I've been really enjoying using those. I really wanted to get back into colored pencil, using colored pencils. I know I like markers. But I really want to get back into using the colored pencils a little bit more. Let's see. I've been bullet journaling, and that has been keeping me on track. I'm really proud at what we've been able to get done with the bullet journaling. Very, very impressed with myself and how I have grown. Just looking back over them, how I've grown in my organization practices. I'm still not great. I'm still learning. And I have people that are helping me out with it, so it's a really good thing. My family's been helping me out with that. As a matter of fact, we've been spending, because of how I've been scheduling everything, I've been able to spend more time with my family. And this past weekend, one of my kids made an obstacle course for us to run through in the backyard. And when I say my kids, they are not small. They are not young. The youngest one in the house is 13 years old. The oldest kid in the house is 21. So we had an obstacle course, and I said, person with the older one said, person with the slowest time has to buy everybody ice cream. I think my wife purposely went slow so that my 13-year-old didn't have to buy the ice cream. She's such a sweetie. Oh my goodness, you guys. I just, I have been doing, like I said, I've been doing a lot more gametography, making the studios in Unreal Engine for Fortnite. And I just realized that no matter who I'm talking to, that's something that I can just bring up in any conversation. I can find a way to that. Not that I have to really search either. It just automatically comes to me. And I'm sure that you have a topic that just comes naturally to you. That in all things that you are doing, you can relate it back to that one thing. And I got this. Oh, this is so awesome. This year, you guys, this July's episode, I got to speak with the one, the only, Mr. Gabe Patillo. Now, you're like, who's Gabe Patillo? Well, I know you know Toby Mac, and I know you know Diverse City, and I know you know the little bald guy that's out there singing backups, playing a trumpet, playing drums, dancing his heart out. That guy. We got to do a live episode at LIFEST on the Edge stage, and I cannot wait to bring this to you. As a matter of fact, I was so excited that I tried to do the intro for the podcast right there, and I biffed it because I was so excited. I was so very excited. Hey, how about we go and listen to that conversation with Mr. Gabe Patillo, the Chubby Ninja, right now. What is up, geeks? How y'all doing? All right. Now, I know I've seen every single one of you this week at the G3 Lair. And here's the thing.
You guys know we have a podcast, right? We're recording our podcast for the middle of this month right now. You guys are right here to experience the whole thing and be part of the whole thing. Yes. Yes. So I'm gonna try to remember how I start this whole thing. I'm not as experienced as some folks I know. Come on in, come on in, come on in. All geeks are welcome in this space. Let's learn together and seek his face. I'm Lem Filia, aka Bad Gamer Elite, here for this Sound Maiden podcast brought to you by lifepromotions.org. God, Games, and Geekery does something or other. I don't remember. I'll edit it. Every month. But this is different. This is so different because today I have with me a very special guest. Hello. This is my brother, not biologically, but just clarify for some folks. Gabe Patillo, aka the Chubby Ninja, aka host of Married to the Game. Co-host of Married to the Games. The boys are gonna kill me. Married to the Games podcast. Oh, and you might see him. You might know him from this little indie band. Tony Mercs. Yeah. Tony Mercs Diverse Town. Tony Mercs Diverse Town. Everybody. Nah, Gabe is my hype man for Toby Mac, y'all. Most importantly, he's a gaming buddy of mine.
Yes, sir.
Who loves the Lord.
Yes, sir.
He loves God, he loves games, and he's a geek.
We met here.
We did.
The very first time we ever met was here at LIFEST.
Here at LIFEST, back when you had the dreads.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Before life took them. Yeah.
Back when you had the dreads, man. Gabe, can you tell us just who are you? Like, let's not even get into work.
Yeah.
Let's not even get into games. I just want to know who Gabe is.
Man, I mean, you did a pretty good job. I'm a dad of 3. I've got 3 kids, a girl and 2 little boys. Been married for 15 years to my wife, Jenny. She's awesome. I actually met her through Toby. She was Toby and Amanda's nanny because they have 5 kids. And so she was their nanny for a couple years, and that's how we met. I was Toby's personal assistant at the time, and so I was over the house all the time. And I saw her one day, like, holding a baby and making rice, and I was like, yeah. What's your name is? And so, yeah, man, and I've been a lifelong gamer since I was a little kid. My dad was always into tech, and so he would bring the NESs and SNESs and Genesis home and get me started on that. And so, yeah, always been a gamer. And then fast forward years and years and years, because we're old men. We won't say how many years.
Yes.
But we fast forward in a bunch of years.
Some of you guys know.
Yeah. I went to a thing called E3 that happens out in LA, and it stands for the electronic something.
Electronics. Micah, what is it?
Entertainment Expo.
Thank you.
Electronic
Micah,
Entertainment
everybody.
Expo. Thank you, Micah. And so I had just gotten back from that, and I was having coffee with a friend of mine, telling him the whole story because it was really crazy how I got in there and and how all that worked out. And he goes, "Man, we're starting a podcast. Would you want to be on it?" And I was like, and I wasn't even into podcasting yet. This is 10 and a half years ago now. And he was like, "What is it called?" He was like, "Well, I think we're gonna call it Married to the Game." And I was like, "Just one game, Married to the Game? Just one game?" I was like, "What about Married to the Games? Because we love all of them." He's like, "Yeah, that'll work." And so 10 and a half years ago, we started Married to the Games, and we've got this amazing community and got to meet Lem. Lem's a huge part of our community. And so, and then even more recently, we've just really stepped into the ministry piece of it and wanted to be a safe place for parents and their kids to come and talk about gaming. And
I am so proud of you guys, by the way.
Man, thank you.
You have no idea. Once we heard, because we got the long story. Mike and I watch co-host Ed Placencia's stream.
Yeah.
And we got the long story of it.
Really?
He told
man.
It literally,
That's awesome.
He stopped the stream for a half an hour, 40 minutes.
Really?
and started just telling the whole story.
Louise. That's
I am
wild.
so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Now, you said you tour Toby now.
Yes.
Is this the first time, like over the many years that you've been with Toby, is this the first time you toured with Toby?
Oh man. No, it's not. So Toby Mac used to be in a group called DC Talk way back in the day before a bunch of y'all were born. Mm-hmm. And so in 19 I'm just kidding. In 1992, DC Talk decided that they wanted to take some dancers out. They already had like 3 dancers, but they wanted to take 2 kid dancers out to like dance alongside. And I was one of those kids. So in 1992, I was 10 years old at the time. I went on tour with DC Talk for a whole summer and fall. And that's where I first met Toby, was
That's
at 10 years old. Yeah, it's crazy.
So that was when you first started doing like performing and stuff.
Yes.
So that was the first time you did performing.
Well, no, but my dad was a musician as well, and so he was the lead singer of a group called Santana way back in the 70s. And then he got saved, and then he did Christian music. And so he would bring me on stage, and I was in his videos as like a 4-year-old. And so I've always been surrounded by entertainment. And then I was a theater kid in high school and middle school, worked at a place called Opryland in Nashville and stuff like that. So I've always been on stage. But my mom's Jamaican, and so she never let me have just one job. So even when I was doing those jobs, I still had to.
What you mean you got one job?
Exactly. So I still had to sell yo-yos or work at Kroger or do something else. So I've always had a bunch of jobs, but the stage has been like a constant thing in my life.
So just stage performance, nothing like.
Doggone it, Lim! Come on, man. I do voice acting as well, and so it's a huge passion of mine. I love it. Right now, you can hear me on for Fox. I do all their baseball stuff. So
where are baseball fans out there?
Do we have any baseball fans?
Yeah. You probably heard Gabe.
Yeah, so their Saturday baseball night in America, those promos, those are all me. And then if we have any NHL fans, we got NHL fans out here. Okay, a couple. So I did all the NHL for TNT this last year through the Stanley Cup and all that. And so, yeah, loving it.
Man, that's fantastic. That's voice on TV.
Got a game coming out soon, hopefully.
Oh, wait, what?
I'm still under NDA.
Wait, what?
I'm still under NDA.
Hold on, what?
Hopefully it's announced soon. I got to do a video game a couple months ago. So I know. I can't talk about it.
Oh, okay.
That's all I can say. Until it's announced, then I can tell you.
All right, but would that be your first video game you ever did?
Shut up. It's not. But the first one caught COVID and died. And so, yeah, I did a game for Amazon called Crucible.
Anybody play Crucible?
No, there's no way anybody played Crucible.
Oh, I played Crucible.
Did you play it?
I played it.
So it made it to like beta and but it was all during COVID and they were all split up and it didn't end up happening. But
so if you ever find video of Crucible, I need y'all to look it up. Look up Crucible Amazon video game and look up a character named Drakal.
Drakal, yeah.
He sounds like this. He's always
That's
yelling.
what he sounds like, yeah. Oh, he's very angry. Yeah. He had a lot of kids too, apparently.
Oh, man. All right, so as a gamer, all these folks out here is probably wondering, what's Gabe playing right now?
I'm playing. I'm trying. So I just got back from a trip. Me and my wife took a trip. So I actually haven't played anything in like a week and a half, and I'm jonesing for it. But right now, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, where my Final Fantasy? Look, JB's like, give me.
So here's the problem, though. I was playing Tears of the Kingdom. Anybody playing Tears of the Kingdom out here?
That's the rest of it.
Yeah, that's the rest of y'all. Man, oh man. I got bored as a mug with that game for some strange reason.
Sir?
I know.
I understand.
I was trying so hard because I started playing a game called Horizon Zero Dawn years ago, and then the first Breath of the Wild came out, and so I was like, I'm going to try this out, and that stole me away from Horizon. Loved Breath of the Wild.
So upset about it.
It was my game of the year. Never went back to Horizon, and so I was so excited for Tears of the Kingdom to come out. And I'm just kind of like bored in it for some strange reason. And so now I was playing that, and then Final Fantasy 16 has stolen me away.
Now, why
From
would
Zelda.
okay? Other than it just being more interesting,
Okay.
why else would Final Fantasy steal you away?
Listen, but a lot of people don't like to say what their favorite movie is, or favorite song, or favorite video game because everyone's like, well, comedy and drama is so different. But my favorite game of all time was Final Fantasy VII. It came out in the late 90s. None of y'all were alive. But it was like my flag in the sand. Like, it's when
Mom back there was like, I was alive.
I was around. I think it came out in 97 here in the States. And it broke all kind of records. It was across 3 discs on the PlayStation 1. And it's when I fell in love with gaming. It's when I fell in love with the storytelling of gaming. I always loved a game, but that was like, this is my hobby right here. And so Final Fantasy games have always been, and I'm come and go with them.
Yeah.
I'm not playing all of them.
Okay, all right.
But 16, I'm really, really enjoying. Yeah.
I apparently love the most hated one.
Ooh, which one's that one?
Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, 13.
I love 13. I don't know.
Is that with lightning in them?
Lightning
Yeah.
and
Her
guy with the
sister?
bird in his hair.
Yeah, that was a weird one. There's always some weirdness going on. Yeah.
There's always weird.
I like 13.
Yeah.
I didn't play 13-2 though.
I haven't either. Not yet. I haven't
There you
finished
have
13 yet.
There you have it.
No spoilers for a
Yeah.
13, 15-year-old game.
10 years later, no spoilers, please.
So that's on your Switch or on your
I'm playing on the PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Now you do a lot of traveling,
Yes.
and I'm imagining you don't bring your PlayStation 5 with you everywhere.
Not everywhere, but most places.
Most places.
Yeah. If we weren't doing this today, I
Yeah.
would have had it here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got a case and everything where I can put my HDMI cords and the controllers, and yeah, I take it a lot more places than people realize. Yeah.
Okay. What game stays in your Switch? Or just stays in your Switch?
Mario Kart stays. Yeah, Mario Kart and Smash Brothers are the 2 games. Yeah.
This
there you go.
is your crowd.
Yeah.
These jokers out here, I don't dare play games with
I
them.
know, I get it. I don't play with anybody under 40. But it's a wrap usually. Because I'm a physical. I like buying physical games because I like loaning them out to people. So a game I played, well, I guess it was last year, was Elden Ring. Did anybody play Elden Ring last year? Yeah, and so it was my game of the year last year, and I bought it physically so I could let somebody else borrow it, and it ended up being a buddy of mine, Tim, who's on Married to the Games. What am I looking at? So I like buying physical games, but those 2 games, Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, I had to buy digitally and just have on the Switch because it's too important not to have.
Right.
Yeah, they're all-time greats.
Okay. All right.
Because there's I don't know if you feel like this, but there's some games, and you guys might feel that are perfect. Like, don't change anything about it. And Mario Kart is one of those games that I would say is perfect. Is somebody gonna scare me?
All right. Anybody else think that Mario Kart is absolutely perfect? Yeah.
There's nothing to change about it.
Like, no. Okay,
It does evolve, yeah.
Okay.
But it stayed the same as they've been stuck at Mario Kart 8, it seems like, for forever. And it seems like they're not changing it for a reason.
Mario
That's the
Kart
best one?
Wii.
Okay, I like that.
All right.
I had all of them. I'm right there with you.
I've been playing Disney Speedstorm.
Yeah, how is it?
I love it.
I haven't played it yet.
Absolutely love it.
I bought it.
I understand why you guys like Mario Kart now.
You don't like Mario Kart?
I don't like Mario Kart nearly as much as I like Speedstorm.
We'll get some holy water and get you saved later on. Has anybody told Lim about Jesus? I don't know if Lim knows about Jesus yet. Obviously, that's why I don't like Mario Kart.
All right, so you also play a little bit on a Steam Deck.
Oh, yeah, I play a lot on the Steam Deck.
All right, now
I've got that with me right now, yeah.
Okay, so our audience, a lot of these students, adults out here, they are playing in a Mario Kart tournament right now.
Ooh.
100-person
That's too
tournament.
many. That's way too many.
And the grand prize is a Steam Deck.
No way.
However,
Where do I sign up at?
however, a lot of them were like, I don't know what a Steam Deck is. How would you
Oh, man.
describe a Steam Deck?
Oh, so I always say it's like the Switch on steroids. You know what I'm saying? So it's handheld. It's heavy as all get out, but it plays, PC games. And people got emulators for it. So it's like almost having like a gaming laptop crunched down to a size a little bit bigger than a Switch.
Yeah.
It's heavy though. You get fatigue holding that thing. It's heavy.
Adults, you remember Game Gear?
Yes, Sega Game Gear.
It's like a Game Gear.
It's like that. Yeah, it's awesome though. I love, and because Steam runs sales all the time, and you can get it to because it's a Linux-based platform, so you can get BattleNet and Epic Game Store and all that. So it takes some doing, but you can get some good gaming in for cheap on the Steam Deck.
I've done very little to nothing and still have too much to play.
Absolutely. I'm playing XCOM 2 on it from like forever ago. I don't even know why I'm playing it.
Steam summer sale, it'll get you.
Yeah, every time. I'm like $1.50. Of course.
I bought a game. I forget what it's called. Oh my goodness. All you do is you build little houses. And
Not Minecraft.
Like you literally press the button and it puts a little platform down. You press it again on top of that. Now it's a house.
That sounds riveting.
It's just so chill.
It's relaxing. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
relaxing.
Yeah. When you got kids, that's the kind of games you need.
Sir?
I'm like, there's this one game where I take a nap in it.
Wait, that's all of them.
Yeah,
I got the nap DLC
called,
and all of it.
Sleeping Simulator. Yeah.
Oh man. So God Games and Geekery is all about the crossroads of our geeky passions and our faith.
Yeah.
And we talked about how in a lot of the things that you do have all just pointed back to Christ. Whether you're doing work with Toby, whether you're singing backups on Eye of the Storm. By the way, if y'all know Eye of the Storm, that's
I'm on it.
You know that guy that comes in after? Right? That's Gabe right there. When you're doing that, whether you're doing a podcast that's not necessarily a devotional podcast, but you're bringing Christ into all things. What else? What does that look like all throughout life?
It's crazy. I read we all know this verse, but it's Jesus is talking to the disciples and he says, ask anything in my name and it will be done unto you. And I feel like a lot of us stop the verse right there. We're like, yep, ask anything in my name and it will be done unto you. You're like, sweet, let's keep it moving. But when you read the rest of that verse, it says, ask anything in my name and the Son will do it for you to bring glory to the Father. And you see Jesus constantly pointing to the Father. Even though he's the Savior of the world, he's constantly going like, why do you call me good? Only the Father is good. And, when they couldn't find him when he was 12 and Mary and Joseph were like, where are you at? And he was like, well, then I'd be in my Father's house doing my Father's business and all that. And so my whole life, what I try to, because Jesus is tough to emulate, right? And so, but the one thing that I can kind of try to control is that anything that I put my hands to, number one, I want to do it for excellence and work as if unto the Lord. But then number two, I want to bring glory to God. And so, even when we started the podcast, it had nothing to do with being Christian or anything like that. But the one thing I did notice about gaming podcasts is that usually they're really foul and there's a lot of cussing and they're encouraging things that I wouldn't want my kids listening to. And so from Jump Street, and at the time I only had a 1-year-old at the time when we started the podcast. From Jump Street, I had told the guys, I was like, man, I'd love to do a podcast with y'all. Something that's really important to me is that it's clean, like squeaky clean. And they were like, yeah. And so what we found through that was that parents could listen with their kids and their parents. And so I remember getting emails early on that said, me, my daughter, and my mom were all laughing in the car. And you're like, that's the point. And so even with voiceover, even though it's not like all Christian content that I'm doing, but it's all about those relationships that you're garnering, when you're off the mic to point to the King, because every good thing comes from him. And so I think even people's creativity, whether they acknowledge it or not, is coming from the Father. He's the most creative. And so I just wanted everything that I do to point to him constantly.
Amen. Amen.
Because some of it's front facing, right? To do with Toby and to come on stage and sing about Jesus, that's really easy. But when you get into the gaming space, gamers are intellectuals and, they're super science based. And so it seems like sometimes we can't mix those two. And I think they mix perfectly when you really look at it. But I think on the face, it looks like God should be verse science. And I don't think you can have science without God. And so I think it was a really important space for us to be in to encourage those kids that what they're hearing in every other medium when it came to gaming didn't have to be it.
I heard once someone told me, they said, there's folks that do, like you said, God versus science, and realistically, science is the study of God's handiwork.
That's how it started. With science at its core was to figure out how God put things into motion for them to be, and to try to figure all that out. And then somewhere, I think they say in the 80s, science turned from trying to understand what God did to prove he didn't exist anymore. And they still haven't been able to do it.
Right.
Because you can't do it. You know what I mean? But anyway.
Man. So some of our students out here may have a tough time doing what we do, where we stand up for what we believe. Some of our adults out there might have it. I know sometimes I do. How can we level up what we're doing when we see something that goes against God's word in our life?
Yeah.
What can we do to kind of center that, come back, even discuss with someone?
Yeah, what's interesting is that, it usually only takes one, you know what I mean? So I remember I was in this voiceover session one time. This is back when we used to all do it together, this is pre-COVID. And I'm in a room, and there's like 7 of us. And somebody makes a joke about Christians. And I'm in LA and all this stuff. And so the room kind of turned on Christianity and all that. And I remember God saying, like, this is why I put you here. This right here, these moments is why I put you here. And I got really nervous.
That's an Esther moment
and
right
I started,
there, bro.
like, sweating. And I remember saying, well, y'all know all Christians aren't like that, right? And it just took that one sentence, and it dissipated the whole talk. And the lead guy who was kind of making those jokes, yeah, I know, I get it. Yeah. And then it kind of fell apart. And so I think sometimes as Christians, we feel that pressure to do the whole thing. And then if they're not saying the prayer of salvation, then you ain't do your job right. And I think really it's just reminding people that what they see on TV about Christians or what their church as a child might have done about Christianity, like, you can't put Christianity's face on everything like that, because we don't do it right. We're humans, and so sometimes dads act up, and sometimes pastors act up, and sometimes as a whole we're represented incorrectly on television. And so I think to boil it down really is to be a light. If we can be a light and we can be loving to people, we don't have to come with any judgment. We don't have to come with any like thou shouts and anything like that. I think it's to love people well and to and show them that all Christians aren't whatever they're talking about. And I think it just really does take standing up. It's just, because it works both ways. If you're in a group of people and somebody starts talking bad about somebody, that's easy to drag the whole group into that.
Right.
And it just takes one person to be like, yeah, let's not talk about that. Like, well, they're not here to defend themselves. And it really does work the other way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I think we have time for maybe 3-ish questions.
Whatever you say.
3-ish questions. Who's got a question about God, games, and or geekery for Gabe?
It doesn't have to be for me. It could be for us.
Or for us. See, all right, I'm gonna talk about my friend real quick.
What?
This is one of the most selfless individuals I've ever, and he's super uncomfortable right now. Selfless individuals that I know. And that's why he just said it doesn't have to be about me. He's our guest. So it is about him, but it doesn't have to be. Sure does. I learned a lesson from you once.
Really?
You said this on the podcast. Actually,
Okay.
I learned several lessons from you, but this is one. You said, if I'm supposed to be the guy behind the guy, and then I'm trying to be the guy, I need to be not the guy behind the guy.
Ooh.
And
I said that?
You said something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
That's kind of a bar. Yeah.
But it was, I remember that. That was on the show.
Sweet.
And that's the kind of guy this guy is. I'm trying to see how many more times I can say guy. All right. All right. Little miss, you had your hand up. You wanted to ask a question, and you laughed at my joke, so. I'm going to come down to you. All right, jump in. Did you have a question for us?
Why didn't you even make God's Scarecrow?
Oh man,
What was it?
why did we even make God, Games, and Geekery? That's
Yeah, go ahead.
that might be on me.
Yeah, it is.
God, Games, and Geekery started out as a workshop for Quake. Any of our Quake students around? Anybody? Oh, well, Quake leaders. Quake, all right. Quake folks, Quake, which is our weekend youth ministry. You can find us in the expo as well. It started off as a workshop. I talked to the director. I said, hey, I would love to do something about God, Games, and Geekery. And he said, what's it called? I said, God, Games, and Geekery. He said, what's it about? And I stared at him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I said,
You're not listening.
God, Games, and Geekery. He was like, cool, let's go. And so we started out that way, and then we moved into podcast, and then we moved into streaming on Twitch, which the Twitch name is, anybody want to guess? There you go. And so join us there. As a matter of fact, anybody that follows this weekend, if you can get reception, you are entered in to win a very special prize, collectible from my own personal collection.
Nice.
It is not being announced just yet. All right. No, don't unfollow. By the way, if you want to play with us on Thursdays, this is Gabe Patillo. He comes in and he plays with us on Fortnite. I don't know if we have any other Fortnite players. You got a question?
So, what was the game that got you guys into gaming?
Ooh, the very it was Super Mario Brothers on the NES. My dad had got us an NES, and I was hook, line, and sinker on. I think that was the first game at home I was playing, and my dad loved Pac-Man, and so Pac-Man got my dad. Super Mario Brothers on the original NES is what grabbed me.
For the longest time, I had a system, and then but I really didn't play. I'm trying to think of the game that got me into gaming, where it is now, where I am now at it, because I've had a game system my whole life. Trying to think, what was? I'll tell you what. Can I answer that with the game that keeps me in gaming?
Ooh.
Okay. There's a game that I don't play on stream because it tilts me. But I play it with friends that keep me centered. Two of those friends are right over here. Micah and Bethany. Aren't they cute? They're so cute. Micah and Bethany and we play Overwatch 2 together. Yeah. And they keep me in gaming. Now there's other games that I play because I really like it, but it's not the game that keeps me in. It's the relationships and the friendships that we have. All right? Come here, little. No, you, sir. Right here. Yeah, come here.
I have two, actually.
You get to pick one.
Okay. What is the tournament next year, and will Gabriel be coming to it?
Oh!
Snap.
I don't know if either of us can answer that question. I cannot answer that question, and it's not because I don't want to. It's because I don't know. I make this stuff on the fly. It literally was going to be Disney Speedstorm up until last March. And then Lucas, director of Quake, said, no. And Johnny, director of LIFEST, said, no, you're doing Mario Kart. Don't tell them, but they were right. Gabe, will you be at the possibly non-existent one?
Yeah, sure. I'll come to it. Even if we're not playing it, I'll come to it. Come and help out.
Man.
So I would like to ask a question based on your geekery part of the name. What is your favorite board game?
Oh! Thank you. We don't talk about it.
What's your favorite board game, Lim?
Why you had to come to me first?
Because you had the biggest reaction to the question.
I don't play a lot of board games. I don't. I'm so sorry. However, there is one that has been sitting on my shelf that my personal stream gaming community peer pressured me into buying so I could play it on stream. Because they know how to get me. Lem, it's less than 20 bucks. So I picked up the Space Jam Funko Pop board game. And potentially we'll be playing that on stream. So
There's a game, I don't even know if it's around anymore, but there's a game called Cranium that's a board game.
oh yeah,
remember
I
Cranium?
played that.
Funny enough, I'm undefeated. I've never been beaten Cranium before.
All right, so I need somebody to go to the game tables, see if we can find Cranium.
Yeah, and I'm an old school Monopoly guy. I love Monopoly. I don't know why. I love it.
All right, come here, Perry.
Have you seen the Mario movie?
Kind of question is, of course I've seen the
Sir!
Mario movie, yeah.
I don't even Mario when I've seen the Mario movie.
I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
We all collectively owe Chris Pratt an apology.
Yes. I apologize on the podcast. Yeah. I thought he did awesome.
Absolutely.
I thought he was going to be
Absolutely.
terrible, to tell you the truth.
Do you guys like cheese curds?
I live here.
I mean, I think so.
Oh, you think? We think
I don't know-
Tracy.
I don't know when the last time I had a cheese curd was.
Tracy, we need to fix it. We need to get Gabe some cheese curds today.
Okay.
James is about to go get you cheese curds right now.
I would imagine that I like them. Chubby's in my nickname.
Oh
so-
yeah, the chubby ninja, by the way, you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite Zelda game rather than Legends of Breath of the Wild?
You're going to be really mad at my answer. Breath of the Wild was my first ever Zelda game. I had never played a Zelda game before Breath of the Wild.
Also, my first and last.
Really?
Word. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I know it's dangerous to go alone.
Don't at
Take
me, bro.
this.
Yeah, yeah. Breath of the Wild's first one I played.
What's your favorite video game console?
Favorite video game console? You mean currently or ever?
Ever. So I've got two. So the SNES is probably my original favorite. And then there was one that came out in 1999 and it got discontinued a year and a half later. It was called the Sega Dreamcast. And that's probably my favorite console of all time, yeah.
Power Stone.
Power Stone.
If I can find Power Stone,
I have it at home.
any
1 and 2.
Oh man.
Shenmue 1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
Yeah, the Dreamcast. It was ahead of its time.
I would concur with Dreamcast for Power Stone alone.
So good.
But oh, by the way, if you guys ever played Disney Infinity, the third one where you can get the fighting, the battle piece, I forget what it's called, Marvel Throwdown or whatever. That pretty much was Power Stone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you want to try Power Stone-esque, try to find that.
Skies of Arcadia. Did you play Skies of Arcadia?
No.
Anyway.
But currently, I would say I love my Steam Deck because, again, a reference back to limits under 20 bucks. The Steam Deck's not, but you can find games every day for under 20 bucks. on
Crazy
Steam.
Taxi. All those games that you can play on
some
the
of the
Dreamcast.
old ones. How much time we got left? Hold on.
5 minutes.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll take two more.
What is your favorite console?
We just did that one, so Dreamcast.
And
Steam-
Dreamcast.
And Dreamcast. He's going up.
Yeah.
My brother's gonna hate this answer if you say the character that he doesn't like. What's your favorite Overwatch character?
Favorite Overwatch character?
Mine has always been May for some reason. The girl with the ice. May's always been. What's that? Yeah, I always love May. Hate every skin they've ever made for her. But I love May. May was my first love in that game.
That's a hard one for me.
And then my second favorite is
Yeah.
Who's the girl with the orbs? The purple and yellow?
Oh, Moira.
Moira. Yeah,
Yeah.
Moira would be my second favorite.
Yeah. If we're talking about my, like, can we? Is it okay if I do categories? All right, my favorite tank, Reinhardt, 1,000%. My favorite.
Hammer down, baby.
Yes. My favorite healer. It's a tie between Mercy and Moira. All right, Mercy and Moira.
Go Moira.
Here's the thing: if you ever play Overwatch and you wanna be Moira, remember you can heal your team, please.
Please.
All
She's
right?
not a DPS character.
No, but if you heal your team, you can still get the best DPS.
Done it.
Absolutely. And then, as a community, Marriage to the Games community, I get shunned when I answer my
know exactly
my
what you're gonna
damage. I am a Torb sim person.
Doggone it. So cheap. Turrets
But-
everywhere.
But I'm not a hammering turret guy, and I'm a strategic turret placement. All right,
Okay. Last one, probably.
last one.
What's the one game that you've played that nobody else has ever heard of?
Ooh, the one game we've played that nobody else has ever heard of. Sheesh Louise. I'm going to go with, you know, it's funny. Nobody's heard of it so much I can't remember the name of it. It was a holographic game that was in the arcades when I was younger. I love the. Who said Dragon's Lair? I love Dragon's Lair. I think it was called The Time Traveler, and you played a cowboy going through time, and it had this really cool thing where, like, if you got shot or killed, you hit the button and it would rewind 5 seconds, and you could do it over again. And it was a holographic game. So I would say that, or there was a game called Newman Athletics that was like a track and field game, except you played with superheroes. And
I've never heard of that. Wow.
see,
Either one.
and it was in the arcades, and then it was on I think it was on the Dreamcast. I've got it on my Steam Deck. I'll show it to you later.
Oh,
on.
all right,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. My favorite game that nobody's ever heard of is called Stared at It in the Box.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Oh, so it's the only other.
Yeah.
Because a lot of you guys have never heard of this game. It's when if you built your own PC, you know.
Yes.
It's when you buy the piece and you don't have anything else.
Stare at it in the
Stare
box.
at it in the box.
That's right.
No, okay. But no, seriously, I would say the one that no one has ever heard of. I'm a mainstream game guy.
I know that's tough, right?
Yeah.
When you realize you're a pop video game player.
Yeah.
There gotta be something from your childhood that's like just not around anymore.
No, but it's popular.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. You guys ever hear of Alex Kidd in Miracle World? See, they know that one.
Yeah, but barely.
Okay. Jungle Hunt. See,
Ooh, crickets.
Fewer.
Okay. Jungle Hunt. Those
I don't even know.
Those Atari games were
I don't even
amazing.
know.
Like they'd be like Adventure. You're like Adventure. That's the name of the game.
I don't even know.
That's tough.
Is
there an arcade? I had to pull from the arcades because.
Oh, that's
some of
true.
those
That's
are
true.
Dead now.
No, the only one that I could I
You
could
have
say
1
that
minute.
I played but everybody knows of it. But I could finish it on 1 quarter. Yeah, that's back when they cost a quarter. Marvel versus Capcom.
Love it. Yeah, that's.
I could finish it on 1 quarter, even if people were coming in to try to take it from me.
That needs to be the tournament next year. Then it sounds like you can win your own tournament. Little Marvel vs. Capcom tag team situation.
All right. I'm putting it down. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
guys
for
being
hanging
here.
out. Mr. Gabe Patillo, everybody.
We'll see y'all later tonight at Main Stage, baby.
Remember, Jesus loves you. So do I.
Yeah.
So does this guy.
Yes, I do.
And always.
Oh, we got to try a cheese curd. We got 20 seconds. 20 seconds to try a cheese curd.
Cheese curd.
Okay, okay.
All right, there you go. All right.
That's pretty freaking good.
There you go. And always leave people better than you found them. Peace.
Yo, that was awesome. Oh, man. I don't get to hang out with Gabe enough. You know, we text here and there, we play some games here and there, but we don't get to hang out nearly enough, and that was just so very cool. Hey, I want to thank everybody that was at LifeFest and those of you who were there for the recording. Thank you for that. Thank you for asking your questions. Thanks for hanging out. It was such a great time this year. And my only hope for the G3 Lair and God Games and Geekery in general is every time you hear a podcast, or every time we have the Lair, or every time you're at a Quake workshop, you say, man, that was better than the last time. That's all I want. So make sure you hit me up and let me know, was it better than the last time? Hey, did you know that the Bible says in Colossians 3:17, and if you've been on our Twitch channel, you know this, and whatever you do in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. You know, in our geeky interests, we often find ourselves like captivated by dope worlds or crazy storylines and amazing characters. And it's not a mistake or a coincidence. It's the manifestations of that God have given us. Because he's a creative God, right? God created the heavens and the earth. It says right in the Genesis, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And since we were created in God's image, we have a creativity to develop and then enjoy the world within our fandoms. So we can recognize that the Creator, through his creation, and approach our hobbies with gratitude and stewardship. And that's very important, that stewardship piece. Because in gaming and comic books, we meet a lot of characters that show us great virtues and a ton of flaws. So as followers of Christ, we gotta seek to emulate those virtues that he taught us. Compassion, humility, self-sacrifice, forgiveness. And God Games and Geekery, being a geeky ministry, encourages us to look for chances to learn from the characters that we admire and see their positive moments that kind of match up with what Christ is teaching us. So the Geeky Fandoms offers a unique platform to connect with like-minded people, our tribes, our squads, right? We can build those relationships, and we're called to be Christ's ambassadors in everything that we do, in word and in deed, right? And that includes our hobbies. It includes our geeky passions. So our love for Christ and our love from Christ should seep over abundantly in everything you do. It should just ooze out of you. I know that sounds a little gross, but it should just ooze out of you. All right? That's the secret of the ooze, actually. It's that Christ's love is so dope. We can share that hope and that joy we found in him, right? And be the light of the community. Even if you never, ever, 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 say this is why. Nobody ever asks, why are you like the way you are? Now, trust me, they're going to ask why you are. But if it never happens, they're going to notice that there's something different. And they're going to see it again and again and again because our brothers and sisters are always doing it, right? They should be. And if that happens, they're going to get curious. Why are we the way we are? And we can tell them it's because of our love of Christ and from Christ. So this month, let's let our dedication to Christ shine so bright in every aspect of our lives, including gaming, our comic books, and all our fandoms, that people are asking, what's the deal? What's the deal with that guy? What's the deal with that lady? Yeah, we want to know. We want them to ask, what's the deal? Hey, thanks for being here this month, you guys. You can find us on Twitter as God Games Geekery, TikTok as God Games Geekery, Instagram God Games Geekery. Sometimes we get to be on the LifeFest Lives. If you can do a review on the podcast platform that you are listening on, please do it. If you can't, send me an email. Said it earlier, badgamer@lifepromotions.org, badgamer@lifepromotions.org. I would love to hear from you. Hey, thank you for being here. Remember, Jesus loves you. So do I. Because you're geeky. You're loved. And you should always, always, always leave people better than you found them. Peace.